Hello again, everybody. Along with Don Sutton, Chip Carey welcoming you to beautiful Busch Stadium, where tonight the Braves and Cardinals will battle in Game 2 of this, signifying fielding excellence. The Wizard of Oz, a future Hall of Famer, perhaps the greatest shortstop ever to play the game. And there he is, starting another game for the Cardinals. The Braves at 8-9, 6-3 away from home, still a game and a half out of first place behind the front-running Padres. They'd like to even up the series with a win tonight here at Busch Stadium, and to tell you about it, here's Don Sutton.
All right, Chip Carey, thank you very much. Deion Sanders will lead it off for the Braves. The Braves with a win tonight could finish the month of April 9-9. It would be the first time since May of 1987 that the Braves had a 500 month. May of '87 saw the Braves win 16 out of 28. Sanders at .231, a pair of homers, 5 RBIs, 5 out of 6 in the stolen base category. Off speed, drops in there. Strike one. And Chip, you were talking earlier to Al Hrabowski. One of the raps against De Leon is he's afraid of his fastball. Always pitches behind in the count.
And that pitch there, a curveball starting off the game. This guy's got a 90+ mile-an-hour fastball, and he's afraid to throw it for some reason. Has no confidence at all in it.
Throws it here, but misses downstairs. It's 1-1 to Deion Sanders. When you look at his numbers, De Leon's numbers are absolutely, they don't match the talent.
Oh.
He is a big, hard thrower. He has 3 overpowering pitches. Here's the 1-1 to Sanders. Off-speed foul back. It's 1-2. Take a look at those numbers. Look at the hit, almost 300 fewer hits than innings pitched, yet 29 games under 500, averaging close to 8 strikeouts per 9 innings. Why isn't he winning? I don't know. If you could have that answer, you could get a quick job with Joe Torre. Misses outside to Sanders. It's 2-2.
One reason, I think, is the Cardinal team just has not scored a lot of runs for this guy. I mean, for example, in his 2 losses this year, the Cardinals have lost the games 1-0 and 2-0. Last year, the Cardinals scored only 21 runs in his last 17 starts.
Comes in with the breaking ball here. Sanders doesn't get it, so he leads off the game with a strikeout. There's another one of those 1,200 or so for De Leon.
Well, again, he didn't go with a fastball, but he goes with a good, strong slider. He's got a forkball, throws a curveball, and that fastball, which he will use occasionally.
Ronnie Gant moved up into the second slot. Couple reasons for that. Number one, with Deion Sanders in front of him, if he gets on, there's a good chance to see more fastballs to hit. And number 2, Jeff Treadway has been red hot. There's that breaking ball. It's ball 1 outside. You know, I'll buy part of your argument about not much run support, but that doesn't explain his giving up close to 4 runs per game in his career.
Right.
The stuff he has, the man should dominate. Off speed and over. So of the first 6 pitches, 5 have been breaking balls.
And it seems like De Leon, the troubles have only come in the last year or so. In 1988, he was 13-10 with 208 strikeouts. 89, he was 16-12 with an ERA of 3.05.
Has Gant 1-1. There's the fastball. Catches the corner. It's 1-2. Ron Gant 6 for 29 off of De Leon in his career.
And I don't know, as a pitcher, is it possible just to lose it overnight like that?
I don't think so. Not when you're seeing what this young man delivers. There's the high breaking ball. Gant pulls off of it. Chases ball 2, but he's gone on strikes. Back-to-back Ks for Jose De Leon.
Climbed the ladder on Ronnie this time. It was up in his eyes, had a good cut, but swung late. You see him spread out with 2 strikes, trying to protect the plate.
You also might see a few more breaking balls tonight because he has an American League catcher back there. Treadway looks at the first one, catches the corner, and strike 1. American League catchers are notorious for calling more breaking balls than National League catchers. Hitters who make the swap. Rich Gedman, the catcher tonight, in place of Tom Pagnazzi. Upstairs, it's 1-1. Hitters who make the swap from the National League to the American League very quickly find out you don't get too many 2-0 fastballs or 3-2 fastballs. You can look for something spinning in that count. There's the off-speed pitch. He drops it in there. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jeff Treadway. Jeff 8 for 23 career against De Leon, has a mini 5-game hitting streak that's pushed his average up to 326. Here's the 1-2. Fastball on the ground, and another base hit for Jeff Treadway.
Well, we talked about this last night. What a bargain this guy has been for this Atlanta organization. Very patient hitter, good contact hitter, always seems to put the ball in play. Pulls a pitch right through the hole and gives the Braves big guns a chance to make some noise with 2 outs in the top of the first.
That should show some people who play, maybe some youngsters, if you can make contact, you always have a chance of getting a base hit. That about a 6-hopper, but it found a hole. David Justice in the cleanup spot. He'll try to run Treadway around, get the Braves on board first. De Leon, not too much of a move. Slow getting it to the plate, gives up a lot of stolen bases. That's something they work on with him every spring, but still hasn't improved that much. Foul away by Justice. It's 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Just underway, top of the first from Bush Memorial Stadium in St. Louis. Braves dropped the opener here. Another thing, if you check the numbers on De Leon, that might account for some of his troubles. First the pitch to Justice. Instead, he'll go to first. Is that over his career, when they've tracked his pitches, only about half of the first pitch is thrown by De Leon are strikes. So he is constantly pitching behind in the count. There's the 0-1, drops in there. It's a breaking ball, 0-2. Justice has had a pretty good career, short one against the Cardinals. Look what he's done his last 37 at bats. And he's thrown in there 3 home runs for good measure. Right now, De Leon has him 0-2. Gedman wants it away. It's up and in and off speed, and Justice swings right through it. So De Leon cracks into the strikeout circle with 3. He leaves Treadway stranded at first. We'll head to the bottom of the first with no score from St. Louis.
And we'll really have to bear down tonight against the Cardinals. Charlie pitches with a lot of guys on base, and the Cardinals love to run.
Charlie's strikeout total up this year for him. Not one who strikes out a lot of people. Contrast that to De Leon, though. Charlie almost always pitches ahead in the count. About 70% of his first pitches are in there for strikes. Hudler is the batter. Boy, has the city of St. Louis fallen in love with this guy. Just off the corner. It is 1-1. Hudler came over in a trade, I believe, from Montreal. And very quickly, with his head first sliding, diving, play any position, captured the heart of the Cardinal fans. 2-1.
He's the kind of guy that's not happy unless he's bleeding someplace when he's out there. They call him Reckless Rex. He'll dive into the stands, crash into the wall. He'll give up his body to make a play.
Started his career out with the Yankees, then moved on to Baltimore. On the ground, Belliard the 3-hopper to Breen. Hudler hustling all the way, but the Braves get him. 1 gone, and the Wizard will come up. Ozzie, as we showed you, picked up his 11th Gold Glove. He's going to have to build a wing on his house just for the Gold Gloves. He has written the book on shortstop play. So often when a kid comes into the league as a young shortstop, Liebrand catches the corner with the first one, is strike 1. And he makes some dazzling plays. The first thing that happens is he is compared to Ozzie Smith. That's a compliment. When somebody says he made a play, that's the way the Wizard would have done it. Off the fist, a long run for Belliard, but he gets there. That's the way the Wizard would have done it.
Well, he came a long way to catch that ball. Ozzie broke his bat on the swing, and it almost ends up in a perfect spot, but Belliard got a good jump on it. And look at the little guy run. Pendleton had no play. Sanders was playing to the opposite field, and Raphael hauls it in. If he doesn't, it's a double.
Kept his eye on it the whole way as he tracked it near the left field line and got a good jump. That's one thing that's impressed me about Belliard. Not really one of the fastest guys. He has good speed, but like Pendleton, that left side of the infield, very quick getting on the ball. Strike 1. That's 3 in a row that Charlie Liebrand has been ahead of. Charlie picked up his 100th win last year. Did it against the Padres. Misses with this one. It's 1-1. And in fine fashion, too. He pitched a 9-inning complete game, a 4-hitter, gave up 1 run, walked a couple, punched out 5. Back in September, Charlie on his way to 200. 2-1 on Gilkey. Gilkey, one of those childhood dream stories. Grow up a Cardinal fan in the area, and bang, the next thing you know, you're wearing the Cardinal uni and playing in front of the hometown crowd. Liebrandt's fallen behind 3-1 to the rookie outfielder. Off to a .253 start. He's picked up a single homer, but provides some speed in the middle of the lineup for the Cardinals. Has already done a good job. He's been on base in 17 of the 19 games he's played. Up the middle. They'll try Belliard to the other side. He's there, makes the play. So Charlie Liebrandt is off to a good start. Gets the Cardinals in order. They go 1-2-3. We've completed one in St. Louis. Still no score. A power pitcher, a strikeout pitcher. Over 20 times in his career, he has punched out 10 or more guys. Anytime you can do that, you vault into a little bit of a higher level as far as a power pitcher is concerned. Bream is 3 for 14 against him. Off speed inside. 1 ball, no strike. And in charting De Leon's pitches, only 3 fastballs have Braves hitters had a look at. There's one. Catches the inside corner. It's 1-1. Bream 7 out of his last 18. Push his average back up to 245. Another heater. This one misses low. It's 2-1. Of those 7 hits, 4 of them have been doubles. Tied for third in the National League with 6 doubles. Way inside, it's 3-1. So De Leon behind in the count, 3-1 to Sid Bream. Pendleton on deck. The 3-1 breaking ball misses badly. It's ball 4, so a leadoff walk puts a Brave at first, and will bring up the former Cardinal Terry Pendleton.
Number 9, third baseman Terry Pendleton.
Pendleton, one who has seen a lot of De Leon and has liked what he's seen. The numbers there lower than you will see as the season progresses, but Pendleton has fared well against De Leon. He's 9 for 16 in his career. Cardinals play him straight away in the infield, slightly to pull in the outfield. Inside the bag at first. He's 10 for 17. Pendleton will stroll into second. Jimmy Williams will hold up Bream at third. So the Braves have something going with none out here in the second. A leadoff walk to Bream, a double by Terry Pendleton.
Boy, one pitch. And Pendleton had the fangs out on this one, folks. Fastball right down the middle. De Leon's thrown 4 fastballs, walked 1, and gives up a double inside the bag at first.
Pulled the hands in close to him, got up on that fastball. Pete Guerrero, who had come off the bag after the pitch was made, couldn't get back to it. The Braves have a chance to get on the board first. And for Mike Heath, it has been a frustrating last few days. He is 0 for 11. Started off with his average way up over 300. Takes the first one outside. It's almost been like 2 separate seasons for Mike Heath. 12 for his first 32, then 0 for 11. Grounded into a double play last night that left him quite frustrated. De Leon from the stretch. Here's the 1-0. It's outside with the breaking ball. It's 2-0. Watching De Leon pitch, he pitches like I had to.
Yeah. Boy.
With a 90-mile-an-hour fastball that he gives you the feeling he's really afraid to throw for a strike. Bream at third, Pendleton at second. Here's a 2-0 to Heath. Got it in on his fists. It's 2-1. Heath looking like he was taking a shot to the right side.
You know, I can't figure out why he won't throw it. I would think with the speedy outfield they have here in St. Louis, a big ballpark, if they hit it, they're going to get a double. Very rarely is somebody going to hit a fastball out of this place.
Here's a 2-1 Heath. That's fouled away. It's 2-2. Last year, one of his worst years of his career, he was 7-19. But still, in 183 innings, he only gave up 168 hits. Earned run average near 4.5. Bobby Cox hoping the Braves can jump out ahead tonight and hold that lead. Braves led it 3-0 last night at one point. De Leon is death on right-handers. Last night they hit way below 200 last year. Up the middle. That'll get through. Braves will be on the board first. Here comes Bream. Here comes Pendleton. He'll beat the throw easily. Mike Heath breaks his slump. Braves lead it 2-0.
Heath snaps an 0 for 14 skid with a solid base hit to center. And the Braves draw first blood against Mr. De Leon, which is certainly good news here at Busch. Split finger fastball up in his eyes, and Heath ripped it right up the middle.
That'll bring a visit from, it looks like, Joe Torre. Yeah, he is going to come out and have a visit. Joe, having been a catcher, might have just the words De Leon needs to hear here.
He's not challenging anybody. Not at all. He's just throwing that breaking ball up there.
And when he does challenge him, it's in the middle of the strike zone. It's not in or out. Well, the Braves are on the board first. Still nobody out. Heath at first. Belliard the batter. I may have killed our ratings last night. I have a group of friends down in Atlanta at the ad shop who watch all the time. And last night I introduced their boss on here and said hello to him as Neil Anderson. Well, didn't bother the people who work for him, but his creditors are going nuts trying to locate Neil Reynolds. Belliard's the batter. Belliard 0 for 3 career against De Leon. Let's see if Bobby Cox puts a play on with him. Yes, he's bunting. Fouls it away. No balls and 1 strike. That's Jimmy Williams flashing the signs. Some mean something. Some are just exercise. Pat Corrales over on the other side. His job, keep an eye on the pitcher. Don't let Heath get picked off. Study the moves and tell him when to go for 2. Here's the 0-1 to Belliard. The pitch out. Cardinals looking for some action. 1 ball, 1 strike. How'd you like to be somebody come to the ball game, say from a foreign country, and you're checking out baseball, trying to figure it out, and the first shot you see on the camera is a guy at the third base coach. There's your base runner. Here's a 1-1 to Belliard. It's a breaking ball. It drops in there. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Last night, wasn't it Belliard that came up in a situation like this, the hit and run, and instead of trying to pull the ball, went the other way with it?
Much better hitter when he does that. When we saw him this spring, almost all of his hits were to center or to right field. He did hit a home run to left, but is a much better hitter when he waits a little bit longer and just tries to serve the ball to the right side. Felix Jose is looking for him to do that. He's only about 15 feet off the line and playing at about the 230-foot mark out there. That one's off the fist, headed for center. It's going to drop in ahead of Hudler. So there you are. Belliard getting one up in his eyes, just serves that topspin lob to center. That's 4 in a row that have reached base here in the second for the Braves.
A walk, a double, 2 singles, 2 are in. And now Liebrandt has a chance to help himself out with nobody out.
And there's a pretty good chance you'll watch Jimmy Williams flash signs around this time that means something. Charlie Liebrandt will probably be asked to bunt. Zeal at third, Guerrero at first, expecting it. Charlie has picked up an affectionate nickname from the younger pitchers on that staff. They call him Codge, as in old codger. Here the old codger will try to show the youngsters how to lay down a sacrifice. Cardinals infield on the move. Guerrero creeping in. There's Zeal. Charlie squares, lays it down, and it's a beauty. Zeal will have 1 play. It'll be to first base. When you look up sacrifice button in the dictionary, there's the diagram right there. That'll put Belliard at second. It'll put Heath at third. 1 out, a single, scores 2 more.
Defensively, the Braves got a break too. Ozzie Smith, instead of breaking for third, broke for second, and Zeal charges. Nobody was covering third base and thus had only one play to throw to first.
That's actually the third play in a series you run off that, Chip. You have the wheel play where the shortstop goes to third, you turn and throw to third. Then the other one with a pitcher or somebody slow running, you send him to second and go for the double play. So if it had been a little bit quicker, Zeal looked to second. So they were definitely trying to turn it into two. Back to the top of the order in Deion Sanders. Base hit here, plates two. A fly ball gets one in. Off speed and in the dirt. Nice stop by Gedman. 1 ball, no strikes. From the stretch, goes around on that off-speed pitch down and in. It's 1-1.
That's a new rope for Deion.
Yeah. Part of the accessories are gone. Again down and in. This time Deion lays off of it. It's 2-1. Amazing, man can run that fast, carrying that much equipment.
He's wearing my house.
That's not a rope. That's a ball of hip. Chops this one to first. Off Guerrero's chest. He'll get Sanders, but the run will score. It'll be an RBI for Deion Sanders. Braves lead it 3-0.
Well, I think Pedro was thinking about going home or holding the runner. Took his eye off it for just a moment. But he does his job, keeps it in front of him. That's the key. And luckily for him and the Cardinals, it didn't get too far away. Else Deion may have been able to beat that one out.
His experience showed once the ball bounced in front of him, very coolly picked it up and got the out. That'll bring up Gann. He was strikeout victim number 2 in the first, looking to get on track. Skies this one to center field. Hudler lost it for a minute. Now he's found it. It's that time of the evening where it might be hard to pick up the ball as it goes up over the stadium. But Hudler tracks it down. The Braves get on the board. They get 3. They do it on 3 hits and a walk. They leave 1 stranded. At the end of an inning and a half, Braves 3, Cardinals nothing. Did throw a walk in there. His average right at 280. Swinging at the first one. Pendleton to get another chance. The long throw got him. So Charlie Lebrand is giving the left side of his infield a workout. The first 4 outs, 2 grounders to Belliard and a pop fly. And now to begin the second, a ground ball to Pendleton. And Felix Jose will be the batter. We told you yesterday the Player of the Week award went to this young man. And what a week he had. Felix Jose, Pete Guerrero, and Jose Oquendo, the only 3 Cardinals that have been in all 20 of them. Here's another try for Belliard. Same play, same result. I think the Braves have that play working. 2 gone. That'll bring up Zeal.
And so far, every out for the Cardinals, left side of the infield. The only ball hit in the air was a pop-up by Ozzie Smith that Rafael Belliard picked up.
5 consecutive hitters on which Charlie Lebrand has been ahead in the count. You would not expect a lot of strikeouts in a game like this, even though you have De Leon as a strikeout pitcher. Charlie Lebrand not a strikeout pitcher, but in the Cardinals and the Braves right now in the National League, the 2 toughest teams to fan. Right at the bottom of the heap in strikeouts. Zeal is 0 for 1 career against Lebrand. He's at .317 right now. He, Guerrero, and Jose have done just about all of the run production. The 3 of them have 39 RBIs earlier this year. 1 ball, 1 strike. 3 runs, 4 hits for the Braves. Nothing doing yet for the Cardinals. Tomorrow, these 2 teams will reload again. 12:35 Central, 1:35 Eastern. Way out in front of the off-speed pitch. Cardinals are scheduled to send Bryn Smith. He's a perfect 3-0. Steve Avery will go for the Braves, looking to pick up his 3rd win. There he is with a pitcher's best friend. The favorite thing of every pitcher to do. Keep that stinking chart the night before you pitch. The only thing that does for you is help you fight boredom. But then again, after you pitch, the next day you get to go tend the bucket during batting practice. It's a tough life being a starter. Under the hands, a little bit high. Counts even at 2-2. In there, call strike 3. So Charlie Liebrandt's in the strikeout column. He's retired 6 in a row. In the second, the Cardinals go in order. Right at the wizard. 1 pitch, 1 out for Jose De Leon. Braves got a walk, a double, a single, and another single. Back in the second, picked up their 3.
Hit it sharply right on the nose, but Ozzie Smith had him played perfectly.
With 1 out, David Justice will step in. De Leon struck out the side in the first. Got Sanders, Gant, and Justice. Justice to end the inning. Drill down the right field line, but that'll be hooking way out of play. It's 0-1. They still try to come in on Dave Justice, and when they miss just a little, he does it. He's in the top 10 in the National League with doubles. He has 4 of them. Like Treadway, a mini hitting streak going. David has hit in the last 4. As we alluded to earlier, a win tonight would give the Braves their first 500 months since '87. It would give them another impressive event since first since 1969.
Best April since '69, I believe.
Glad you read that in time. Thank you.
Speed reading.
1-2 to Dave Justice. This one's hit high to right field. It might make the warning track. Hudler is there. You might expect Rex Hudler, if you've ever watched him play, to take charge in the outfield. He'll track it down. Justice is gone. 2 outs. And Sid Bream, who got things started in the second inning, his leadoff walk eventually came around to score. He was followed by a double by Pennington, a single by Heath. All 3 of them scored. Didn't mean to. That'll get out of play. It's 0-1. Braves with a win tonight would be 9-9, and that is very encouraging considering that coming into the night's ball game, Gant and Justice had combined for 17 RBIs and were collectively hitting right at the 200 mark. So if the Braves can hang in there till they get on track, off speed, foul tip, it's 0-2. Braves pitching has been exceptional. Starters and the relievers, and the new dimension has been the speed. The fastball misses, it's 1-2. Braves in 17 games have stolen 21 bases. It used to, Braves were known as a slow station-to-station team. Fouled away by Bream. It's still 1-2. But now you know that in those meetings that teams have prior to playing the Braves, they're going over how to keep the Braves from stealing. And you see catchers a little bit more antsier. Pitchers rushing their delivery. This one stays upstairs. The count is even at 2-2.
Yeah, the Braves and Cardinals each have the same number of stolen bases, 21. You think that can't possibly be right? This Cardinal team obviously built on speed and defense.
Bream doesn't get it. He's gone on strikes. The 4th strikeout of the evening for Jose De Leon. His first 1-2-3 inning of the night. Braves go in order at the end of 2.5 from St. Louis. Braves lead it 3-0.
Event is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Atlanta National League Baseball Club is prohibited.
Well done, Mr. Carey. Ball 1 from Charlie Liebrandt. That's the first time he has been behind in the count. Gedman off to a slow start. Fouls this one away. It's 1-1. Gedman a .257 career batting average, but one of the reasons he might be in there tonight, familiar with Charlie Liebrandt from over in the American League, and he is 5 for 16 career off Charlie. That translates to slightly over 300. way out in front of the off-speed pitch. Gedman invited to spring training as a non-roster player. Did a good job and ended up making the ball club, and here he is. 1-2 to Rich Gedman. On the ground, Justice Bream will make the play. He'll feed Liebrandt. And Gedman is gone. No, Justice is in right field.
Number 11, second baseman.
That's a 3-1 put out if you're scoring, and it'll bring up Jose Oquendo. Why do we read the disclaimer, Chip?
So the people will
Not steal it off the air and use it without permission?
with unauthorized reproduction, retransmission, or other use. Get in a lot of trouble for that kind of stuff.
First pitch to Oquendo is in there. Oquendo with a real exaggerated batting stance from the left side. Not so exaggerated from the right, but still way back in the batter's box.
And there's still too much chalk there. You can't get out of the box all the way yet. Later on in the game.
Earlier tonight, we got a shot of what the batter's box is supposed to look like. We'll give you a look after this pitch. Here's the 1-1. He takes it off speed, drops it in there. Now here's what it looks like as play begins. A nice, perfect little area there. Now take a look at when Oquendo digs in. Yep, there used to be a batter's box there, and he may or may not be in it. Inside corner, call strike 3. There's one thing for sure. There is an inside corner of the plate, and Charlie Liebrandt has painted it.
Liebrandt with 2 strikeouts. He's retired the first 8 men he has faced.
Number 48, pitcher, Jose.
Heath sets up inside, and watch Liebrandt hit the glove without moving it at all.
And as we have seen before, if you sit there, hold the glove, frame it, and hit it, there's a pretty good chance you'll get the call. De Leon has the old Dave Kingman hitting style. That is, swing hard in case you make contact. He hasn't made a lot of contact this year. Not really notorious as a hitter. You don't have to throw him strikes, as Charlie Liebrandt is proving. It's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. De Leon would probably give himself trouble if he were pitching to himself. Outside with the fastball. A token appearance by the Charlie Liebrandt fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Charlie, glove held in front of his face, into the wind, comes inside, catches that corner again. Charlie has a magnet in there. That's 3 strikeouts for Charlie Liebrandt, 2 coming this inning. Moving right along rapidly, aren't we? We've played 3. Pendleton will step in there, and here to hopefully protect the 3-0 lead I give him tonight is Chip Caray.
This is 2 nights in a row you've done this. The pressure is on. Braves lead 3-0 on 4 hits. The Cardinals have yet to reach base safely. We do have a playoff score for you. The Pistons over the Hawks 76-71 after 3 at the Omni. De Leon starts Pendleton out with a curve that misses. 1 ball, no strikes. Terry doubled and scored back in that second inning. The Braves had 4 straight reach base. De Leon has not thrown many fastballs. There's one too far inside. And at the half, Houston over the Lakers 46-39. Los Angeles leads that best-of-5 series 2-0. Rich Gedman the sign, the 2-0 pitch. 3-0. Mike Heath is next. Snapped an 0-for-14 skid with a 2 RBI single. De Leon has been perhaps the biggest mystery in the National League, and Pendleton walks on 4 straight.
Did we miss something, or does Terry not want to walk?
Now he's taken off
the glove,
the pad on his foot and all that stuff. There he goes. De Leon last year was 7-19. That's the second time in his career that he's lost 19 games. Lost 19 with the Pirates in '85 when he was 2-19. And believe me, I think it takes a lot of talent to lose 19 and only win 2.
And to continue to have your club run you out there.
Here's Heath. Instead to first. In fact, last season, Joe Torre did not start De Leon a couple of times because he didn't want him to lose 20 games.
Well, in that year you're talking about, when he was 2-19, he pitched 162 innings, only gave up 138 hits, and had a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio.
Curveball misses. 5 straight out of the strike zone for De Leon to open the 4th.
He got into baseball in an unusual fashion. He was born down in the Dominican Republic, but when he was just a kid, his folks moved up to New Jersey. Then they went back to the Dominican Republic, so he had to apply to be eligible for the draft, and in '79 they made an exception, and here he is.
Again to first. So play pitching coach. You see his numbers. You see the impressive strikeout to walk ratio. You see the hits below the innings pitched. What's the guy's problem?
I think it's his inability to know how to use his fastball. Regardless of how hard you throw, that's still the best pitch in baseball.
Could be 2. Zeal. Oquendo. Low throw. Guerrero can't handle it. That's an error on Oquendo, and that is news, folks.
I think since they got the out at second, they won't score that as an error. If they had completed the double play, maybe if they had called him out and then he had dropped it, they would. But Zeal very quickly, a perfect throw to Oquendo, and he snapped that throw down low. You could see that Pendleton was getting close to him, and he was coming from down under, making Pendleton get down. Guerrero kept it in front of him, and it might have been a break of sorts for Mike Heath, because he grounded into a double play last night, and that could drive your frustration level up. Keep hitting into too many of those.
Oquendo has not made a throwing error at second base since August 13th, 1989 at New York. And he's not charged with one there because you can't assume the double play, and I should know that. 1 out for Rafael Belliard. He's 1 for 1, singled, and was stranded at third back in the second inning. His average soaring to 208.
Above the Mendoza line, which is an even 200.
There goes Heath. Hit and run is on, executed to perfection by Belliard. He's going to try for third. Here's the throw. It is in time. Out at third. Heath gambled and lost at third base. Gilkey threw out Heath on a nifty play.
Belliard is such a much better hitter when a play like this is on. Just puts the bat on the ball. Heath hesitated a little bit at second. I think he thought Ozzie was going to get to it. When he didn't, he took off. The local youngster came up, threw a strike, and Heath got one right in the nose for his efforts there, for his hustle. Here's the tag. The throw back into line, right and into Heath. So Zeal really didn't have to tag him, just let him slide into it.
Second assist on the season for Mr. Gilkey. Now Liebrandt hits with 2 outs. Belliard at first. Charlie looking for his first hit of the season. Sacrificed 2 runners over back in the second. Helped himself. They later scored. The 0-1 is outside. Count evens. 1 ball, 1 strike.
To continue our thought on what would you tell him as a pitching coach, what better example can you watch than Charlie Liebrandt to show you still have to throw the fastball, you have to pitch in and out, but you have to throw strikes.
Popped into short left. Ozzie Smith hauls it in, and the Braves go down in their half of the 4th. No runs on a hit. No errors, 1 man left. We go to the bottom half.
PBS, and we also want you to know what we're going to be bringing to you in the way of baseball in the next month. Here's our calendar for the month of May. In case you didn't remember, green is on the road. That's kind of backwards from the Tom Jong songs, the green grass of home. Red is at home, and we hope you like the East because you're going to get a lot of the Cardinals, the Cubs, and the Pittsburgh Pirates. So there's the calendar. That means that the 2nd, 9th, 16th, and 6th, I can play golf. So thank you.
Work on that handicap. What's it down to, 5 or 4? 5? That's ridiculous. Liebrandt's retired his first 9 batters, and Rex Hudler leads it off. Squared to bunt, pulls the bat back. 1 ball, no strikes. Big weekend of baseball coming up in Atlanta. Friday, it's Gatorade Squeeze Bottle Night. First 20,000 fans into the ballpark will get a squeeze bottle before the Braves-Cubs game. The 1-0 pitch. There's that fastball, 1-1. Then Saturday, it's Kroger and Pop Secret Microwave Popcorn Night. First 15,000 kids 14 and under with reserve seat tickets will get a souvenir Braves helmet. That game at 7:10 against the Cubs. The 1-2, swing and a miss. Excuse me, that was 1-1. Now it's 1-2. The scoreboard was incorrect. And then Sunday, May 5th, it's a 1:05 Braves-Cubs start. The Beach Boys are in concert. And for an extra $5, you get to see the Braves and the Beach Boys immediately following the game. They're expecting big crowds for all three of those games. The 1-2, Hudler stays alive with a weak tap, foul behind the plate.
And you know, our partner Pete Van Wieren planned his NBA schedule so he can
bet.
be back in town for the Beach Boys concert. Wouldn't surprise me to see Pete get up on stage and perform with them. As a matter of fact, we should encourage him. He had a band when he was in college.
Oh, is that right?
Our very own Pete Van Wieren.
The 1-2, fisted toward first, but out of play. And we'll do it again. A ball, 2 strikes. Speaking of the Cubs, they picked up 4 runs in the third at Houston. They now lead it 6-3 as they go to the bottom half of inning number 4 at the Astrodome. The 1-2, fastball, fisted, Treadway can't catch up. Oh, there goes the no-hitter, the perfect game, and there's the first Cardinal base runner, Rex Hudler, a soft single into right center.
I sure am glad we didn't mention he had retired 9 in a row and had a no-hitter. The good fastball in on Hudler's fist. Not all hits are on bad pitches. Not all outs are on good one. He hit that one right above his thumbnails. Got just enough of it to get it out of Treadway's reach. Look how close Jeff comes to this. Just about a yard away from it. So the Cardinals have their first base runner.
And this is a situation where they love to hit and run, with Ozzie Smith handling the bat. 1 ball, no strikes. Hudler's not that much of a base stealer. He's got adequate speed. And they'll try to give him a head start with Ozzie Smith if they can.
Normally you expect plays like that, Chip, when you're ahead or even in the ball game, but Joe Torre has shown that he will run behind in the game like he did last night.
It got him back in it. They eventually tied. The 1-0, swing and a miss out in front of the changeup. Liebrandt really fooled Ozzie Smith. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ozzie Smith picked up 3 RBI last night. 2 of them on an infield hit, and 1 on a short line drive to center that won him the game. He said in his career nothing like that has ever happened. He's never picked up 3 RBI that way. The 1-1 instead to first, keeping Hudler honest.
We had a look at Bucky Dent, former manager, and you have to admire Joe Torre for surrounding himself with some really talented people here. Dave Collins, a good base stealer, coaches over at first base, and a knowledgeable baseball man.
Hudler a good lead, draws.
There you have a look at Dave Collins, and in his left hand, a lot of people wonder what's a first base coach for except to tell him when to go to second. Dave Collins, look at that. That's a stopwatch. The reason for that is to time Charlie Liebrandt's time from getting rid of the ball to home plate.
Hit and run, bouncing ball through the whole left side. Hudler can go no farther than second base. The Cardinals have something going here. 2 straight hits, nobody out in their half of the 4th.
And when you get a base runner come over there who has a chance to steal, Collins can tell him he is 1.6 to home plate or whatever the time is, and that can tell you how much of a lead to take. That's a very important, another part of the high-tech innovations in baseball. Every good scout and every good first base coach can tell you how long the opposing pitcher takes to deliver the ball.
And what's the average in the National League? A little over a second or so?
I think you have to get it to home plate in less than 1.5 to be considered good.
Hal Galema, our erstwhile statistician, says it's 1.3 seconds.
That's less than 1.5. You won't throw too many people. You will throw a lot of people out if you can get it there 1.3. If you get up around 1.6, 1.7, well, that's when you see guys like Greg Olson taking off on you.
A ball, no strikes to Mr. Gilkey. Bounced out to short his first time. Hudler at second, Ozzie Smith at first. The Braves would love the double play here. Down low, 2-0, and for the first time tonight in this inning, Liebrandt has been behind with 2 of the 3 hitters.
I think it's the first time all night he's been behind 2-0, Chip.
Gilkey came in hitting .253. Throw to first, off the helmet of Ozzie Smith. Sid Bream wasn't covering the bag. Hudler runs through the red light. Bream can't pick it up. Ozzie Smith to third. And the Cardinals pick up a run the cheap way. Hudler ran through the red light, saw Sid Bream, fumbled the ball around, and came around to score.
This is a set play that you work on all spring. There's a sign for it. Obviously, Bobby didn't like the way that it was pulled off there. But the sign is based on a timing. You put it on, and then Bream breaks. they had Ozzie Smith. See there, Bremen sneaked in behind him. If the throw is slightly to the right, to Ozzie's right, they make that play and they pick him off. As it is, the run comes in. Two-base error for Charlie Leibrandt.
Fastball high. It's 3-0. Ozzie Smith's now at third. A run is in for the Cardinals. 3-5-1 for Atlanta. 1-2-0 for St. Louis.
That's one thing you see the Braves doing more now than in the past year, too. Using plays to help themselves get out of the inning. That one obviously didn't help them, but a good throw right there, and they had Ozzie Smith.
3 balls, 1 strike. Guerrero and Jose will be next for St. Louis. High drive towards center on a line. Gant charges, drops it. Another run is in. It's 3-2. And they give him a hit. I'm not so sure.
The inning is unraveling in a fashion that Bobby Cox doesn't like. And I'll bet you Ron Gant, you can see he got just a little bit of a late jump. Had to come a long way, reached down, had it in the web, and couldn't hold it. I'll bet he'll be the first to tell you he should have made the catch. There it is, right in the web. Didn't get it fully in the center of the glove. And being extended, stretched out, couldn't hold on to it. So the Cardinals taking advantage of all the breaks they're getting. A bloop single from Hudler. Ozzie hitting one in the hole, then the pickoff attempt. And now a single that Ron Gant isn't able to hold on to. So 3 singles and an error. It's 3-2, the tying run at first.
And Guerrero and Jose and Zeal, all legitimate power threats, do next. Still nobody out. 2 runs are in.
And Gilkey a threat to run.
He's 3 out of 6 in the stolen base department and has a big lead. Leibrandt freezes him. Guerrero misses the changeup, 0-1. The Cardinals have been a comeback club. They have scored 34% of their runs after the 6th inning. Last year, I think they only won 4 games after trailing late. And they've won 4 already this year. No balls and a strike for big Pedro Guerrero.
Pete's a good contact hitter, doesn't run that well. Cardinals might start up something here just to stay out of the double play.
Throw to first. Yoki back. Cardinals are 21 out of 35 in the stolen base department.
Guerrero's already hit into 3 twin killings and usually leads the Cardinals in that category.
One here would be nice. The runner goes. Fastball inside. Heath's throw, no chance. Stole it on Leibrandt at slow delivery. Puts the tying run in scoring position with still nobody out.
Well, in the meeting that they have before a game, a guy like Dave Collins will go over a pitcher like Charlie Leibrandt and tell his base stealers what to look for. Then he will pull out the stopwatch and he'll tell Gilkey, you have 1.6 or 1.5 seconds. Get a good lead, get a good jump. If he comes up and doesn't tip off he's coming over here, take off and you got it. There it worked. The youngster's showing some good speed.
No balls, 2 strikes. The tying run at second, nobody out. 3 straight singles by the Cardinals. An error and a dropped fly ball by Gant that was ruled a hit. Pickoff play at second. Leibrandt steps off as Belliard keeps Gilkey close.
Chip, you know, you might find a lot of the Brave pitchers lobbying for the designated hitter for the very simple reason it seems like this year they roll along really well till they hit, and then take a look at this. After their turns at bat, pitching becomes a little bit more difficult.
Pickoff play again. This time Treadway is there. The ball, I think, hit Gilkey in the back.
Well, if nothing else, what that does, a lot of times you use a play like this, not so much because you expect to get the pickoff, but just because you make them aware that you'll do it, and it might shorten that runner up 1 step, and that 1 step could be the difference between safe or out at home plate.
Liebrandt ahead of the count on Guerrero. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 runs are in, still nobody out. Felix Jose will be next. The pitch. Missed high and inside. Evens it up 2-2.
You see a control pitcher like Charlie Liebrandt come inside. 0-2, he came inside with a fastball, came back inside with a fastball. You might see him come in there 3 times to set up a pitch, go 3-2, but set up a pitch he knows he can deliver and hopefully get him out after going to 3-2. Takes a lot of courage, takes a lot of confidence in your control to do it.
Liebrandt with 3 strikeouts, no walks, at least not yet. 2-2, he's to the belt. Moves him off again. Now it's full.
Now you can bet the farm on the fact Guerrero will not see an inside fastball here. Charlie has established the fastball inside. Good pitch, that off-speed pitch down and away.
Little tapper toward third, but it's foul. There it was. Curveball on the inside part of the plate. Guerrero swung over the top and fouled it off, and we'll do it again.
You have to have a lot of confidence in your control, your ability to do that, to set up a pitch 3 pitches down the line. And that's what he was doing. He was saying, I don't care if I take you to 3-2. I believe I can deliver and get you out 3-2. Now, what a lot of youngsters will do, they might think that way, but don't have the ability to execute, so they end up pitching themselves in a hole. Still, the whole key for his ability to do that is what did he do? He was ahead in the count 0-1, 0-2.
We'll do the 3-2 over again. You come with that same pitch on the inside?
I'd go away again.
Liebrandt steps off.
Guerrero likes to go the other way, likes to hit alley to alley, but sometimes down and away with the off-speed stuff. You speed up his bat just enough that he hits it on the ground. He doesn't deliver it in the alley and maybe gets a grounder to bell yard.
Heath the sign. Let's see where he sets up here. Outside. Popped him up. Fly ball right center. Justice and Gant. It'll be David Justice. The runner fakes the tag, draws a good strong throw. There's the first out. Now Felix Jose, the National League Player of the Week, stands in.
Got him to go the other way, negated his power and got the out. And you saw a good strong throw from Dave Justice, and we all like to ooh and ah when an outfielder cuts the ball loose. But the most important thing David Justice did there was not to throw the ball hard, but threw a perfect strike to the cutoff man. He could see right away that Gilkey wasn't going, so there's no sense in firing it all the way to third, letting it maybe bounce in the stands. But we talk about Deion Sanders' good instincts in the outfield. David Justice has some very good defensive instincts.
Here's Jose as a right-hander hitting .318. .368 for the year. What a pickup this guy has been so far for Willie McGee from the Oakland organization last year.
It looks like he's off one of those muscle men calendars, too. He is huge with 2 H's.
He and Ronnie Gant ought to get together and have a biggest bicep competition. 2 guys that are really strong in the upper body. First pitch to Jose is a fastball high. 1 ball, no strikes. Don Sutton, Chip Carey with you here at Busch Stadium. Second game of a 3-game series. The same 2 teams battle tomorrow afternoon at 1:35 Eastern time. Steve Avery against unbeaten Bryn Smith. Couldn't check his swing. Another changeup from Mr. Liebrandt. It's 1-1.
I've heard batters say that Charlie Liebrandt is a type pitcher that can put you into a comfortable slump. You see the fastball inside, you know, you're pretty sure if it hits you, it's not going to hurt you that bad. And you say, well, heck, if he throws that again, I'll be right on it. And here comes that little turnover, and you're 1.5 miles out in front of it. That's called pitching. There are only 2 ways to get hitters out: overpower them or keep them off stride, and Charlie is the master at keeping hitters off balance.
1 ball, 1 strike. Jose digs in. The runner, the lead, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Somebody, I can't remember who said it, but hitting is timing, pitching is destroying timing.
Disrupting timing. That's exactly it. Gene Mauch used to say you can win if you can keep the ball off the fat of the bat. That's about as simple as it gets. You can do that with movement. You can do it with change of speeds. You can do it with control. If you have all 3, pretty good chance you're going to be a winner.
A ball, 2 strikes. Treadway plays games at second, and Leibrandt steps off. 3-2 our score. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Cardinals with 3 hits here in the 4th. Leibrandt retired the first 9 men he faced in the game. Now Jose steps out. A little frustrated that Leibrandt's taking so much time. Now Mike Heath explains what's going on, and now we're ready to go to work again. Now time is called again, and the home plate umpire Mark Hirschbeck is warning Jose and Heath apparently. Apparently they were having some words while Leibrandt stepped on and off the rubber.
Every now and then this happens, and there are some catchers more vocal than others who will talk to you a lot. And if you're a hitter that concentrates, it really messes your mind up, and it can cause some disagreement.
Gilkey tries to steal third. Popped up on the infield. He'll have to head back. Treadway catches it, throws, double play. And the inning comes to an end. Gilkey tried to steal third on a hit and run, and Jose popped it up, and that ends the inning. The Cardinals pick up 2 runs on 2 with an RBI. That is his 6th of the season. Picked it up on a ground out in the 2nd. De Leon's first pitch is outside. 1 ball, no strikes. The Cardinals really need De Leon to set the Braves down in order here without much damage. They got him back in the game, scored 2 runs in their last at bat. The 1-0 to Dion, slashes it, pops it up. Zeal and Gedman converge. It'll be the catcher, Rich Gedman. Sanders pops to the catcher to open up the 5th.
You know, we're expanding the coverage at TBS. We did the Hawaiian Open this year, have the PGA coming up in August from Crooked Stick in Carmel, Indiana, the Centel Classic. And next week it's the Bell South Atlanta Classic, and a lot of our PGA friends are going to be down. They'll be taking in Braves baseball, and we'd encourage you to go out and watch the PGA Tour. You can be through in time to get to the Braves baseball. There are going to be a dozen of them coming to the Cubs game on Saturday night. It's amazing how you have the relationship. A lot of guys in one sport love going and watching another, and a ton of baseball fans on the PGA Tour.
Ron Gant stands in 0 for 2. Looks at a curveball outside. Gant has struck out and flied to center. 3-2 our score. We're in the top of the 5th. Another curveball. Gant missed it. 1-1. I live in Orlando, and Payne Stewart and a lot of the PGA golf pros live there.
When did we go to a 3-man booth?
Fastball misses outside. 2-1.
You can't even do an inning and a half without your father coming over and checking up on you.
I know, it's awful, isn't it? It's like I'm 8 years old again. Some things never change. 2 balls and a strike. Missed upstairs. I think it's that emptiness syndrome.
What little tidbit did he bring us?
Hawks score maybe?
103-91 the final. Detroit over the Hawks.
Just won the home court advantage right back. Now lead the series 2-1. 3 balls and a strike to Gant. Curve is high, and Gant's aboard with 1 out.
See, that amazes me. You have your club has just scored you 2. You throw the ball 95 miles an hour. You get 3-1 on a guy who is struggling, who has really had trouble hitting the ball solidly in BP, and you try to trick him. You take the outer half of the ball, the plate, throw a belt-high fastball, and let Ron Gant drill it to right field if he will. Joe Coleman, the pitching coach, is going to come out. Anytime a pitching coach stops by home plate, this is not a double switch. This is to tell him there's an indication there is something wrong. And if there is something physically bothering De Leon, this will not count as a trip to the mound. You know, you allowed 1 trip. If you make the second one, you're out of there. And as we take a closer look at his right pant leg, he may have a blister because, well, he's turned so we can't see it now, but over around the hand, right around the other side, looked like there might have been some blood spots there, so he could be fighting a blister.
Yeah, you see him rubbing that long finger on his right hand. There might be something wrong there. Yeah, he's picking his finger.
Well, apparently he's okay. There you had a quick look at it. Something is damaged, but Coleman was satisfied he was okay, or at least De Leon convinced him that he was.
And now the Braves have 3 left-handed hitters in a row. Jeff Treadway, one of them. He's hit the ball hard twice, has a single. Gant goes, square to bunt, throw to second is not in time. The Braves steal second base rather easily. Ron Gant is perfect on the season, now 5 for 5 in thefts of second base.
Oh, did he get a good jump? And this is a perfect time to run. You don't like to really take advantage of somebody else's maladies, but when you're distracted like De Leon is, the last thing he's thinking of right there is, boy, do I have to hold Gant close. Good timing, great jump, and Ron Gant's 5th stolen base of the year.
Treadway ahead of the count, a ball, no strikes. Almost got hit with a curveball. 2-0. Did you ever battle blister problems?
I was fortunate. I never did. I can't remember ever having anything like that. But I would start throwing in January, and I'd play long toss every other day, and I'd try to build up calluses on those first 2 fingers.
2-0. 3-0 outside.
You know, I wouldn't really try to pitch at all till I got to spring training. I would never throw off a mound till spring training. But just to grip the ball, start with 50 pitches, and then work the throws up to maybe 60 the second week, and then 70. And there's going to be some activity in the Cardinal bullpen, so obviously something is not right.
3-0, the old automatic right through there. 3-1. Chris Carpenter on the left, and Jamie Moyer on the right. Carpenter, the former Georgia Bulldog.
Well, I'm sure there are a lot of people in the Atlanta area excited to see him get up, and Cardinals think he has a great future here.
3 balls and a strike. Ozzie Smith shadows Gant at short. The pitch. High drive toward left. It'll stay in the park, however. Gilkey has a beat on it. And there's out number 2. It'll take a 2-out hit from David Justice if the Braves are to add to their slim 3-2 lead. Justice has struck out and has flied to center. De Leon will try to get through this inning. He would qualify for a win if the Cardinals were to pick up a couple of runs in their half, and if he is, of course, lifted.
Well, if the Cardinals get anybody on in their half, you might see a pinch hitter for him, especially if something is bothering him. He's 4th due up.
First pitch to Justice. Chopped toward first, but foul. And into the Cardinal bullpen. Somebody almost got clobbered.
Well, normally a spare pitcher stands there and supposed to have guard duty. There he is, kind of a laugh. And guard.
No balls and a strike. Hung a curveball. Justice out in front, 0-2. Braves would love an insurance run here. It's still very early in the game, but an extra run in this ballpark would be nice. The 0-2 is due to Justice. Curveball got him again. Justice struck out the first time on curveballs. De Leon gets him again, and that is his 5th strikeout of the night. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left. We're through 4.5 in St. Louis. Braves lead it 3-2.
Months we need some runs.
Do we ever? Mr. De Leon possibly battling a blister problem. Charlie Lebrand battling a bit of a wildness problem last inning. Faces Todd Zeile and is ahead of him. No balls and a strike. Zeile was caught looking his first time. 3-5-1 for the Braves. 2-3 for the Cardinals. Fastball outside evens the count 1-1. Braves trying to get back to the 500 mark. Now Zeile calls time and steps out. The Cardinals have not won 13 games in April since 1982. Zeile high drive toward left, but Deion Sanders has it tracked and holds it in. The leadoff man out for the Cardinals in the 5th. Here's Rich Gedman. Gedman is 0 for 11. Excuse me, 1 for 11. Picked up his first hit as a Cardinal last Wednesday. First pitch is outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Played with the Red Sox, played with the Astros, and made the Cardinal team as a non-roster invitee. The 1-0. Good curveball.
He was such a long shot he didn't even make their press guy. But he's been a good pickup for it.
Lebrant's 1-1. Foul to the screen. 1-2. Lebrant has struck out 3. Has not yet walked anyone.
Hear about Mike Morgan tonight. 1 hitter through 8. They go to the 9th in Montreal. Delano DeShields a home run. Game over 1-0.
Oh no. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. 4 strikeouts for Lebrant. 2 in a row here in the 5th. Well, you could put Jose De Leon's name for Mike Morgan, and that would pretty much sum up what's happened to him the past couple of years.
It's hard to. De Leon's a mystery to me that he doesn't win 20 games every year with his stuff.
Well, Don and I were talking. He says and believes that it's De Leon's. First the pitch to Oquendo. That De Leon doesn't know how to use his fastball properly. Has that good curveball, good forkball, but relies on it and then doesn't have the ability to get the fastball over for strikes and digs himself a big hole. 2-0. The pitcher waits on deck.
All I know is the league's hitting 181 against him coming in, and he's 1-2 and losing again.
The 2-0. High drive toward left center. Gant back toward the gap. Waves everyone off. And the Cardinals go down 1-2-3 in their half of the 5th. We go to the 6th. It's the Braves 3, Cardinals 2. Off walk came back to haunt Mr. De Leon, who again starts another hitter out with an off-speed pitch. 1 ball, no strikes. Bream is 7 for his last 19 over the past 6 games with 4 doubles. The 1-0. Right through there with a fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's Steve Avery against Bryn Smith tomorrow. We'll have it for you at 1:35 on TBS. The 1-1. Big slow curveball stayed up high. 2-1. Cardinals really need a good year from De Leon. Lost 19 games for the 2nd time in his career last season. The 2-1. Up high and away. 3-1. In his last 17 starts last year, the Cardinals scored just 21 runs.
That'll get a little disheartening, I would think.
And in his 2 losses this year, the Cardinals were beaten 2-0 and 1-0. So nothing has really changed for this guy. 3 balls, 2 strikes now to the Braves first baseman. But as you mentioned, he's done a good job. The league hitting only 180 against him. Struck out 20, walked only 6 entering the game. He's given up only 4 earned runs, 15 hits in 23 innings. The 3-2. Missed down low. The Cardinals thought they had Bream struck out, but again another leadoff walk, and hopefully lightning will strike twice for the Braves, this time in the 6th.
Third baseman, Terry Pendleton.
4th walk. And Pendleton stands in. Terry doubled and scored in the 2nd. Walked and was erased on a fielder's choice in the 4th. Cardinal bullpen starts to get active again. Throw to first. Bream not blessed with exceptional speed.
He's kind of very complimented that they would throw to first with him running.
Braves might play hit and run with him aboard. Give him an extra 3 or 4 steps. Fastball is outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Looks like Moyer and Carpenter again in the bullpen.
3-2. Braves lead. We're in the 6th. Pendleton's average up to 239. And De Leon misses again. 2-0. In between innings, we go look at Mr. De Leon. It looked like he was having a blister problem. And Joe Coleman, the Cardinal pitching coach, on his way out. This will give the bullpen some more time to throw. If you can get a shot of his right pants leg, looked like there were a couple of blood spots maybe.
Well, if it's a physical problem and he comes out, the bullpen can take as much time as they want to get ready. But he's going to stay in there.
Pendleton's ahead in the count. 2 balls, no strikes. Play Terry a bit to pull. Rex Hudler in center field plays toward the right side. The 2-0 is outside. 3-0. Well, Terry ought to see a pretty good pitch here. Mike Heath is on deck. He'll hit next.
He loses him. Joe Torre might be the next in line to head to the mound, and that will be curtains for De Leon.
Well, let's see if they turn him loose on 3-0. They do not. Pendleton takes a fastball for a strike. 3 balls and a strike. A beautiful night for baseball in St. Louis.
Disappointing night for the Hawks back in Atlanta. They're not out of it yet, but that one hurt.
They had a pretty good lead in that 3rd quarter and lost it. Bream goes on the 3-1. The pitch is ball 4. It won't matter. 2 straight walks by De Leon here in the Atlanta 6th inning, and we'll see if Joe Torre is next out of the Cardinal dugout. He's on the top step, and here he comes. So De Leon's evening will be finished here in the 6th. I think Torre is going to make a double switch, as De Leon, the pitcher's spot, will lead off the Cardinals 6th.
Looks like Oquendo is going to come out of the game, but let's wait and see.
5 walks for De Leon, 5 strikeouts, and he'll go with the right-hander Chris Carpenter, as the right-handed hitting Mike Heath will hit next. So the Cardinals go to the bullpen. De Leon couldn't get it done tonight. Braves lead it 3-2, 2 on, nobody out. We'll be back after this. The Cardinals pull off the double switch. Jose Oquendo to the bench. Geronimo Pena in at second base. He had a good night last night. Had a couple of hits and a walk. And the new pitcher for the Cardinals is former Georgia Bulldog punter Chris Carpenter. He's having a good year. The Cardinals are really high on him. You see his numbers: 1-1, a 1.74 earned run average. This is his 10th game. In 10 innings and a third, 6 hits, only 2 runs. He has walked 5 and struck out 7. Opponents are hitting 158 against Mr. Carpenter. Last year's split time between the Cardinals and Louisville was 10-8 at Louisville, the Cardinal AAA Farm Club. They made him a starting pitcher down there. 22 games, 22 of them starts. Had 2 complete games, a shutout. Struck out 100, walked only 21 in 143 in the 3rd innings. That's a doggone good ratio, 5-1. And he'll face Heath, Belliard, and the pitcher spot, Lebrand.
Another final in Chip. Cincinnati did beat Pittsburgh 4-3. Tom Browning got the win. He's 3-1. Rob Dibble the save, his 5th. No report on where he threw the ball when the game ended. Tonight, Doug Drabek was the loser. We told you Montreal beat Los Angeles 1-0. Philadelphia just came up with 6 in the
runs. Back in the 2nd, that snapped an 0-for-14 skid. Carpenter works off the stretch. The Braves a golden opportunity in this inning. Good live fastball, 0-1. Chris Carpenter, another Georgia Bulldog.
Out of Gainesville.
No balls and a strike. Almost to the screen with a curveball. Count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike. Bream's at second, Pendleton's at first. Still nobody out in the Atlanta 6th inning. The left-hander Jamie Moyer is ready if needed. The Braves have 3 right-handed hitters in a row with Heath, Belliard, and Lebrand. Heath hitting .271. The 1-1 squares to bunt, lays it down. It's a good one. Carpenter fields his position. The sacrifice goes 1-3. The Braves have 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out for Rafael Belliard, who has excelled in situations like this. Belliard, with runners at 3rd and 2 out, He's 3 for 5.
So we need another out.
Right. But otherwise, he's 5 for 11 with men in scoring position. They play him very shallowly in right field. Felix Jose almost at little league depth, shallow in center as well. Gilkey at no depth in left. 1 out, runners at second and third for the Braves, who lead 3-2. A little tap to the right side, tried to check his swing, could not, and Carpenter's ahead, no balls and a strike. Carpenter out of Gainesville High School, All-State his senior year, Georgia Athlete of the Year in 1984. Two-time All-SEC and All-American selection at Georgia. Was also drafted by Toronto in 1986, but didn't sign with them. Cardinals picked him in the June '87 free agent draft, the 14th player selected. And now Gedman and Carpenter want to get together and check the signs. 3-5-1 for the Braves, 2-3-0 for the Cardinals. De Leon is gone. His line so far all 5s. 5 innings, 5 hits, 5 strikeouts, 5 walks.
They may want to change the signs here with Pendleton running at second base. He's knows very well the Cardinals system, and he could be tipping the hitter off.
Zeal and Guerrero even with the third and first base bags respectively. The 0-1 pitch. Dubelliard. Pitch out, nothing doing. Evens the count, a ball under strike. Could you squeeze here?
You could. It's tough with Sid running because he doesn't possess real good speed, but you could do it. As long as Belliard is staring at Jimmy Williams, you'd almost be tempted to pitch out again if you're the Cardinal.
Let's see what the veteran Rich Gedman calls here. 1 ball, 1 strike. They do pitch out. 2-1. This might be an unintentional intentional walk with the pitcher next.
We've seen managers pitch out 4 straight times.
Liebrand popped out to short in the 4th.
Gedman looking over to Joe Torre in the dugout. They may feel like they have the Atlanta signs.
Carpenter to the belt. 2 balls and a strike. They pitch out again. Belliard tries to throw the bat at the ball. They've got Bremen a rundown. Pendleton will stand on the third base bag. And I think the Braves were trying to squeeze, and it doesn't work out.
Yeah, they called the pitch out again. Belliard had no choice. We'll look at it again. He throws his bat at the ball in a desperate attempt to foul it off. And then there's no choice. Bream is dead.
Bream is caught stealing 1-2-5. The count now 2-2. 2 outs now to Belliard, and Pendleton's at third. Swing and a miss. Inning over. The Braves had runners at second and third with 1 out and come away empty. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 big runner left. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Still 3.
Where you lead, but you feel like you're losing. You just don't like the way things are going.
Liebrand ahead of the count, no balls and a strike. Well, in the 4th inning, the Braves had a golden opportunity on a base hit by Belliard. Heath was gunned down at third. That was a big run. And then last inning, the squeeze play. Cardinals must have picked off a sign because they pitched out 3 straight times, and Bream was caught in a rundown. The Braves had runners at second and third, 1 man out, and came away with nothing. Liebrand ahead, no balls, 2 strikes. Wasted a fastball outside. It's 1-2. Pena hitting .250. He is 3 for 12 on the year, scored 4 runs. With a homer and RBI. Off-speed pitch misses away, 2-2. Good-sized crowd here in St. Louis at Busch Stadium. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Fooled him again. 5 strikeouts now for Leibrandt. Pena was way out in front of a changeup by the wily Braves left-hander.
This is really a good out pitch for him. He throws it a lot. Off-speed curveball.
Now the top of the Cardinal order, Rex Hudler. 1 for 2. A single, a run scored, and he bounced out to short in his first at-bat. They call this guy Reckless Rex. He's a cult hero here in St. Louis. First pitch fouled to the screen, 0-1. He runs into walls, slides, dives into the crowd. They really love him here. Plays a lot of positions. Played 6 positions last year. Very versatile player. Had a career last year with career high totals, runs, RBI. Had 7 home runs, 22 RBIs. Hit .282. Leibrandt misses inside. Count evens. 1 ball, 1 strike. Braves hanging on to a 3-2 lead. The 1-1. Missed with a changeup way outside. It's 2-1. Steve Avery against unbeaten Bryn Smith. We'll have it for you tomorrow at 1:35 here on TBS. Then the Braves head home and play the Chicago Cubs in a big weekend. The 2-1. High pop on the infield. Sid Bream calls everyone off behind the first base bag. Battles the wind. Out number 2. Leibrandt's retired. 6 in a row. Shortstop Ozzie Smith. He's 1 for 2. Singled. Scored a run in the Cardinal 4th. Also popped out to short. Leibrandt began the game in perfect fashion. Retired the first 9 men he faced in order with 3 strikeouts. And the Cardinals picked up 3 hits in a row. Scored twice. And since then they've have failed to get anyone on base. 2 outs in the 6th for Ozzie Smith, who before the game picked up his 11th Rawlings Gold Glove Award. Leibrandt's first pitch misses low with a fastball. 1 ball, no strikes. Bernard Gilkey is on deck. Fastball high. 2-0. Ozzie hitting .254, 17 hits and 67 at-bats. No homers, 4 RBIs. He calls time and steps out. Leibrandt the sign, the 2-0. Foul to the screen, 2-1.
More NBA news. The Lakers beat Houston 94-90 to sweep the Rockets in 3 straight. Those Lakers are still tough.
That surprised me. I thought Houston, first of all, got robbed in the first game of the series, but I thought they really have a good chance to beat LA. The 2-1. Tap to the whole right side. Treadway can't get there. And Ozzie Smith with his 2nd hit, 4th hit of the night for the Cardinals. Sid Bream a little unhappy with himself. He thought maybe he could have gotten to the ball. Asks Treadway, and Jeff says, I don't know. It was hitting in almost a perfect spot.
Yeah, he broke back to the bag instead of going after it and was upset when Treadway couldn't get to it. Not at Treadway, but at himself.
Ozzie Smith with a 2-out hit. Here's Gilkey. He's 1 for 2. Singled, stole his 4th base of the year back in the 4th. Braves by 1. They'll play hit and run with Ozzie and Gilkey. There's a fast strike, 0-1.
With 2 out, they might just have Ozzie try to swipe it to get into scoring position.
Smith is 4 out of 6 in stolen bases. Leibrandt does not have a very quick move to the plate, so you would figure Ozzie would have an excellent chance. And he's got both feet on the turf. That's a huge lead. And it draws a throw. Ozzie Smith had both feet on the artificial surface. He'll go right back out there again. That is a big lead.
He's advertising that he's bound for second.
The 0-1. Not going. The Braves pitch out. Count evens, a ball and a strike. Guerrero is next. Then Felix Jose. Not going. 1-1. Missed up and away. 2-1. Bernard Gilkey, 6 feet, 170 pounds, from right here in St. Louis. Hit .297 in 18 games last year with a homer, 3 RBIs, also stole 6. The 2-1, there he goes. The pitch low. Heath has no chance. Ozzie Smith steals his 5th, and you knew it was coming. Now a 2-out hit by the Cardinal rookie ties the game.
He picked a good pitch to run on. Heath can't come up with it, and even if he does, he doesn't have a play. There's the Braves. 4 steps by the time the ball was delivered.
Liebrand also behind, 3 balls and a strike. Tried to check his swing, could not. Charlie's battled back to run it full. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
And that was ball 4 if he could stop the swing, so a break for Atlanta.
Gilkey has struck out 11 times. That leads the Cardinal team. 1 here would be nice. The 3-2. Missed inside. He walked him. Gilkey didn't realize it was ball 4. There he goes.
I thought they changed the rules all of a sudden.
That's only the first walk for Charlie Liebrand. Now Guerrero has a chance to be a big hero for the Cardinals.
That's a pretty good pitch.
Leo Mazzoni gets the bullpen up and active. Parrott and Stanton will begin to throw for the Cardinals. Here's Guerrero for the Braves, that is. Here's Guerrero for the Cardinals. 0 for 2. Bounce to third, fly to right. Guerrero with 2 homers, 12 RBIs, hitting .273. The tying runs at second, and Ozzie Smith. Fast strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Guerrero didn't like the call by home plate umpire Mark Hirschbeck. Guerrero is 2 for 5 in his career against Liebrand. No balls and a strike. Just missed at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're in the 6th. Atlanta leads it 3-2. Skip and Chip with you here on TBS. Second game of a 3-game series. 1-1. In the dirt. Heath a good stop. 2-1. Liebrand has struck out 5, walked 1. He's given up 4 hits, 2 runs. Guerrero digs in. Heath wants to reset the signs. Now Guerrero steps out. Liebrand trying to extend his winning streak to 3 games. Coming into the game tonight, had given up just 3 earned runs in his last 15 innings. 2 balls and a strike. Ozzie a big lead at second. Now Liebrand steps off. He and Heath want to get the sign straight here. Tonight's attendance here at Busch Stadium, 19,844. 2-1 to Guerrero. Change up the middle, base hit. Ron Gant charges. Smith around third. They'll never get it. The game's tied at 3. A 2-out hit by Pedro Guerrero. Well, the stolen base and the walk really hurt. Liebrand had to give in. He was behind in the count. And Guerrero with his 13th RBI ties it here in the St. Louis 6th.
He got a breaking ball up, and you could see Leibrandt upset with himself. Now he's got to keep it where it is. The Cardinals bid to take the lead.
Here's Jose. Swing and a miss. Went for the home run. Missed the baseball. 0-1. The story for this Cardinals season to this point has been comebacks. They've been down 3 runs in each of the first 2 games of the series and have battled back each time. And they've done a lot of their damage in the 6th inning and beyond. They've come back late. Jose looking for his first hit. He's bounced to short and hit into a double play. The 0-1 is a strike. Jose didn't like it. It's 0-2. Jose 2 homers, 15 RBI. This guy's got power, folks. Hit one into the upper deck last year here in St. Louis. The 0-2 bounces up there. Heath, a good stop. Todd Zeile waits on deck. Just like last night, the runs and hits are even. 3 and 5 respectively.
Heath has had a busy night around home plate. He got that one with the chest protector. That's what you try to do.
Two-out trouble for the Braves in the 6th. The 1-2 moves him away. 2-2. Felix Jose waits. Leibrandt fires. Hot shot towards short. Belliard fields. Inning over. Jose hit it right on the nose, but out. But the Cardinals tie. Welcome back to Busch Stadium. Beautiful downtown St. Louis. Game tied 3-3. Charlie Leibrandt leads things off. Here to take us home, Skippy.
Okay, Chip, thank you. The pitch from Carpenter, a fast strike over the out. Check it. It's high and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. It would have been a strike if I were umpiring, but I'm not. Right through there. This time it's 1-1. Leibrandt has sacrificed and popped to short. 3-3 again in the 7th. Started to go. It was in there anyway. It's 1-2. Deion Sanders waits on deck. Then Ron Gant. Low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jose De Leon is off the hook now. It's Carpenter's game. Leibrandt stays alive. Still 2-2. Charlie's pitched another good ball game. His own throwing error really hurt him in the Cardinals' 2-run 4th. They had Ozzie Smith picked off, it appeared, but the throw hit the runner and set up the 2-run. That got the home plate umpire Mark Hirschbeck right on the tootsie, and that hurts. That rattled around off both legs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. High pop on the infield. Who wants it? Guerrero. Right by the mound. 1 up. So Leibrandt is retired. In the top of the order, Deion Sanders to the plate. Deion 0 for 3, driving a run with an infield out. If you joined us late, the Braves scored all their runs in the 2nd inning. A walk to Bream, a double to Pendleton. Heath singled them both home. Belliard single. Leibrandt sacrificed. Sanders bounced out. And the 3rd run crossed the plate. Outside of that, we've been quiet. Braves have left 5 men in the first 6 innings. They've had a couple of men thrown out on the bases. Deion waits. Strike called. 0-1. A ball and a strike to count. On the outside corner, it's 1-2. Grounded to short. Ozzie has it. 2 down. So Sanders is 0 for 4. Here's Ronnie Gant. Dion's football teammate Brian Jordan doing well in the Cardinal organization. He's at Louisville hitting about 285. And the Cardinals very high on him. But so are the Falcons. There we go again.
They have a pretty good flag football game between these two teams. Tommy Gregg, Chris Carpenter.
Gant takes low and away. 1 ball, no strikes. 3-3 our score in the 7th. 1:30 TV time tomorrow. Steve Avery against Bryn Smith. Into center field. That's playable. Hudler is there, and Carpenter breezes through the 7th inning. 1-2-3. Nothing doing. We go to the bottom half. Tied up 3-3. It's it off. He's 0 for 2. Zeal, Gedman, and the pitcher Chris Carpenter are due up here. Juan Augusto in the bullpen, as he is virtually every night for the Cardinals. Oh, he pitches a lot. And the Braves bullpen is busy again. Zeal lines one to left, and the go-ahead run is on. Tom Pagnazzi is going to come out and pinch hit for Gedman.
Zeal went down and got it and lifted it over the head of Belliard. Another hit for the Cardinals. The go-ahead run is at first. Nobody out.
Now Geronimo Pena has moved on deck. But somebody in the Cardinals, I was hoping we were going to catch a break there. He was about to bat out of order. He's hitting in the 9th spot in the order, so now they call him back. And Craig Wilson will pinch hit next. Good bunt. Pagnazzi, Bream the tag, runner at second. So Pagnazzi sacrifices the runner over. And Wilson will be announced here. Wilson 1 out of 15 on the year, but 1 out of 2 as a pinch hitter. So Wilson is announced. He's hitting for Carpenter. Stanton and Berenguer in the Atlanta bullpen. The Braves talk it over. And we're about ready to go. Wilson hit .248 for the Cardinals last year after hitting .280 at Louisville. He's out of Maryland, 26 years old. Go ahead run at second with 1 out. Line drive left field. Sanders can't get there. Base hit. Throws to third. He's safe. Throw gets away. Wilson races for second. Wilson hits a bullet for a base hit. The air will be on Sanders, but don't blame him. That's a pretty good play. He had a shot to get the runner, who had to hesitate to see if the ball would be caught.
That's the first hit for Wilson since opening day, and it comes at a great time for the Cardinals. Runners now at second and third with one out. Went down and got it. It was a pretty good pitch. And Dion came up charging, hesitated for just a moment. Pounds the glove of the ball, then throws a bullet toward third. This play worked in Houston. The Braves got a big out at third base on a force play. But it didn't work out that time, and Bobby Cox is now on his way to the mound.
This is one of those in-between hops that Pendleton can't come up with. Lee Brandt did his job in backing the play up, and that will be all, and Berenguer will get the call. So Lee Brandt leaves in the 7th, having worked 6 1/3 innings. And we'll be back to see what happens as
pinch runner then stayed in the game. 2 hits, a walk, scored twice, stole a base.
The last time he scored, turned the lights out here. He struck out on his only plate appearance tonight. Infield in for Atlanta. 1 ball, no strikes. Mike Stanton ready if needed in the Atlanta bullpen. The 1-0 pitch. Almost hit him. 2-0. Now let's see what they do. Again, Heath looks into the Atlanta dugout. Bucky Dent runs through some signs. So does Bobby Cox. 2 balls, no strikes. Zeal runs at third. A strike at the knees, outside corner. Pena didn't like it. It's 2-1. He was a strikeout victim his last time, and that's what Berenguer would like to do on this occasion. It's still too foggy to play baseball in New York. Time call for a moment. Boy, this game has slowed to a snail. 1 pitch. Back to Berenguer. He holds the runner, throws him out. That's a big out. That ball was hit. He made a good play. 2 down. And Rex Hudler is called back.
This ball was hit like a rocket off the turf. And Berenguer finished up, caught it in his glove.
Self-defense.
Oh boy. Looks the runner back and throws him out. 2 outs. They practice that in the infield drill. Do the pitchers hit those scorchers back to the box, and Berenguer makes the big play, and now it will take a 2-out hit.
2 out. He's 9 out of 23, a .391 average. Zeal runs at third, Wilson at second. There's a good look at Milt. Here we go. Steve Reich outside corner at the knees, 0-1. Three is our score. Thompson really spreads out in that batter's box. Low and away, a ball and a strike. Thompson 5'11", 170-pounder, but he's got surprising power. The runners lead, and the 1-1 pitch. Up the middle, 2 runs will score. Thompson is hung up. The inning is finally over, but 2 Cardinal runs have crossed the plate as Milt Thompson delivered in the clutch. 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 error, nobody left. At the end of 7, the Cardinals have taken the lead. It's 5-3. And Tom Pagnozzi stays in the game and does the catching. The pitch. There's a looping liner into right field and a good start for Atlanta. Blauser delivers a safety. So the tying run comes to the plate for Atlanta. And here's David Justice, who is hitless on the night, 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Carpenter went 2 innings, struck out 1. Pitched very effectively. The line on Charlie Leibrandt, 6 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, 3 of them earned, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. Runner at first here, nobody out. Justice chops it to first. Guerrero's going to go to second. He's out there. He didn't have time, he felt, to go back to the bag and still take a shot at second, so he got the leading lady.
Guerrero's turned into a pretty decent first baseman over the years. Didn't hesitate, threw a bullet, and Blauser did his job. Made it tough for Ozzie Smith to even attempt to throw. The Cardinals take the easy out. And now Francisco Cabrera has grabbed a bat for the Braves.
And he'll pinch hit for Sid Bream, who was 0 for 1 with a pen for the Cards. Augusto comes set. He's working in his 13th game already. At the knees, 0-1. 1 on, 1 out, 8th inning. There's that bullpen action for St. Louis. Chopped to short. Ozzie in. Good play out there. Out there. That's a major league double play, even though it's against our team. Everybody handled that ball beautifully. Stanton's line, 1/3 of an inning, 1 hit. Berenger's line, 1/3 of an inning, nothing but 0. Two and 0 is the count. Smith, Gilkey, and Guerrero here in the bottom of the 8th as the Cardinals try to get some insurance. Ozzie fouls it back. Unless the Braves rally here, they will keep that unenviable record going. They still won't have had an above 500 month since May of 1987. Three balls and a strike. Fly ball, center field. Gant drifts back. He's there. 1 out. Ozzie hit it a long way, but out. Seattle beat Baltimore in the American League tonight. Their first final is in, 6-3. National League Finals, Reds 4-3 over the Pirates. Montreal 1-0 over Los Angeles. The Cubbies beat Houston 10-3. And there's still fog in New York, where San Diego is trailing 4-2. Upstairs to Gilkey, 1 ball, no strikes. In the 9th, the Braves will send to the plate Pendleton, Heath, and Belliard. At least they're the scheduled hitters. Curve a little high. It's 2-0. Gilkey 1 for 2 with a walk and a stolen base. His 4th of the year and 7 attempts. He fouls it back this way. Count goes to 2-1. TV time 1:30 Eastern tomorrow. Avery and Bryn Smith will pitch it. High chop toward third. Trouble if it's fair, but it's not. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gilkey returns to home plate. Parrott again gets ready. Cardinals by 2, and it's late. Downstairs, full count, 3-2. Missed high. Parrott thought he had him struck out. So a runner aboard with 1 out. For Pete Guerrero, 1 for 3 in RBI, 6th inning single. This is a tie game on earned runs, but you got to count the unearned ones too, and that makes it 5-3 Cardinal. Fastball missed outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Parrott again thought he'd caught the corner. Guerrero stands back in there. They play him around toward right and quite deep. He's got a lot of power to the power alleys. Throw to first, that's close. But Gilkey is back. And he calls time to. Again the throw to first. Again Gilkey gets back. Throw to first, close, but he got back. Glenn Diamond. Look out, folks. That ball was rocketed down the right side. A ball and a strike.
So that starts
Friday night. Mr. Excitement will be back at the helm on Friday, and we'll have all the questions for him.
Is it going to be one question a night, or is
yes.
It's only one?
We don't want to strain Glenn with too much responsibility. A ball and a strike is the count. The 1-1 from Parrott. Popped up foul and out of play. Cabrera gives it a look but has no chance. Boston beat Minnesota tonight 7-5. Jeff Gray won it. Steve Bedrosian lost it. Jeff Reardon saved it. That's 8 for him already. Eventually here Parrott's going to make the 1-2 pitch, but not yet. Gilkey edges away. And the pitch is low. 2-2. Felix Jose is next. The Braves have stopped him tonight, and that hasn't been done very often. Throw to first. Runner back. Again, Gilkey edges away. Runner going. Pitch drilled off Parrott. He's decked. Pendleton Fields throws. He's out. Runner goes to third. He is safe. And let's see if Parrott's all right. He really got hit. It's a 1-5-3 to get Guerrero, but Parrott really took some punishment.
Let's take a look at this. Boy, this ball was smoked.
He stands in. They're going to pitch to him. Fly ball deep left field. Sanders is going to have room on the track, and the inning is over. 3 Cardinals. shortened as if to bunt. Lee Smith from Jamestown, Louisiana, now lives in Castor, Louisiana. 6'6", a 250-pounder. 2-1 at Boston last year with 4 saves. 3-4 with the Cardinals with 27 saves. A ball and a strike. Pendleton steps out of the batter's box. Didn't get the breaking ball. His fastball has such velocity that you have to look for it, as Pendleton did on that occasion, and when he can get the breaking ball in for a strike, you're out in front. 1-2. Ground ball, just foul past third. Count stays at a ball and 2 strikes. This trip started so nicely for Atlanta. Makes it doubly depressing. The trip will be 4-4 unless the Braves can rally here. High pop, short left. Ozzie out, Thompson in. Milt wants it. There's the first out in the 9th. And Mike Heath is the batter. And Mark Lemke moves on deck to pinch hit for Rafael Belliard. A little high, 1 ball, no strikes. Smith in his 11th major league season. High again, 2-0. A walk, of course, brings a potential tying run to the plate. Heath singled home 2 in his first at bat. He's 1 for 2 with a sacrifice on the night. Right through there, 2-1. Their bullpen in 3 1/3 innings has allowed but 1 base runner, 1 single for Atlanta. Up the middle, there's the base hit that brings the tying run to the plate. Heath is 2 out of 3. Lemke gets the call. And Jerry Willard moves on deck.
Heath came up there looking fastball. Finally got it. Hit it right back where it came from.
So Lemke stands in there. He's hitting .278 for the year. He's driven in 1 run. He's 5 out of 18. He's got some pop in his bat. Tried to bunt his way on, fouled it off, 0-1. Kent Merker begins to loosen up in the Atlanta bullpen. No activity now for St. Louis. $19,844 paid here tonight. Oh, 0-2 is the count to Lemke. The left-hand hitter waits. Strike 3 called at the knees, outside corner. Same spot, 0-1 to Willard. His fastball looks like it runs away from the left-hand hitter. By the time the catcher catches the ball, it's outside, but it's nipping that corner. Check swing. Did he go? No. Jerry Lane with the call, and it's 1-1. The 1-1. Had a good cut, but fouled it back. Sort of like to see Lonnie Smith get a whack at this guy. 4 out of 16 lifetime with a homer. A ball and 2 strikes. Strike 3 call, breaking ball. Ball game over. Smith finishes it with a flourish. 1 hit, no run, no errors, 1 left. Cardinals win again, 5-3 the final. Totals and highlights after this.